Okay. See you. So same thing. I just want to develop like what we discussed in this last class, and how we are going to implement. This is something like completely MSBI implementation. So currently, when you go to the company, you will find this kind of architecture. So this is something called graphical way. This is I shown you technically internally what is happening. This is something called graphical way. How the data comes from sources, what ETL development will do, will extract the data, whatever the data it is there, in whatever the format it is there. We create a pipeline, we manage that data, and we will be sending the data to the data warehouse, which I explained in the last session. So whatever the system you are having, whatever the data which store in the storage account, from there we are extracting. Either you use on-premises tool, either you use the cloud tool. Both tool we are learning it now. And this data will be moved to the storage account. And from there, wherever you want to move again, you can use the ETL concept. So you can see how much ETL involvement here. So that doesn't mean you will be working complete environment. This I mean what we call. So this team will be separate. That is what is this? Data marts. Okay. So this data marts team ETL developers are separate. The cubes developers are separate, but still the ETL is required. ETL development is required here. Summary moving data ETL developments are different, and you are moving the data from here to here. The ETL developers are different. Separate teams will be there. You are not completely developing the entire project. Like in when you go with the small companies, like level few company, which I'm currently working, where it is involved end-to-end BI process. End-to-end BI process. You have to take care everything. You have to manage sources. You have to manage the complete loading process. You have to manage the reporting when you work for some small companies, but you have more things to learn in that companies. But when you go to the MNCs companies, what happen? What is your work? You are a ETL developer. You have to work only ETL part. When you have a reporting development, you have to work on report development only. Okay. So that is what when you go some companies, which I feel like in IBM and Wipro, my work is only SQL development. My work is SSIS. I am not going to touch any DBA work. When you work in small companies, definitely you will be working under different roles. All right. So this what happened? This is completely designed in on-premises. This all system is required. You have to purchase the products, and as it is not free of cost, it is like a very premium SQL Server. It is based on key users, and it is very costly to install this kind of softwares. Even when you purchase the laptops also, you require operating system, Windows operating system. The one they give you as like crack versions. After that, it will ask you to provide the product key. So that is also you need to purchase, and it is very costly. Moreover, like storages account. If you purchase in your laptop like 1 TB, later you cannot change it. So all these things can be managed easily under Azure Cloud. That everything can be managed under Azure Cloud. Okay. So what the Microsoft implemented, they implemented one store, the store name they given as Azure. And in that Azure, they are asking you to utilize whatever the tools they want, whatever the softwares they want. they can use as a rental purpose. Like how we are staying in the rent house, how much time we are staying in the rent house, we will be paying the amount. The same purpose here. If you want to use the system, different operating system, you use it. How much time you are using it, pay that amount. If you are not running, you shut down the machine, you don't need to pay. How much storages you are using it, how much data you storing the data, only for that storage amount only you have to pay. If you are not running the ETL tools, you no need to pay. So that is what they are doing it. Microsoft what they design it. Earlier we were using only standard data, standard data. That means like it may be a files, it may be a TXT, it may be CSV, it may be a proper database. But now we cannot predict. The data may come from different formats. The data may come from different formats. It may be a structure format. It may be unstructured format. The data is very big size. So we cannot predict. So that is what earlier to handle such situations like JSON data, Parquet data, to handle such situation in on-premises, we were using third-party extensions. We were dependent on third-party companies in earlierly. So it was very difficult to process some JSON data. But same thing, Microsoft overcome by using your data factory. So if your data factory, in that data factory, there is a number of sources are there. Number of sources and targets are there. Whatever you want, you can you can use it. It's maybe structured data, it may be some semi-structured data, it may be unstructured data. You can easily work on this kind of data in data factory. Okay, so same implementation, same graph, same project. I'm going to explain. I'm going to do end-to-end project in the cloud. Instead of doing in on-premises, I'll do in the cloud. Okay, so how to do in the cloud? So the cloud which you are using is that is a private cloud. Sorry, the cloud which you are currently accessing like Azure. The Azure is a public cloud. Public, why we are saying public cloud? Anyone can come. Anyone can come and anyone can have a login and they can create. If you go Amazon, Flipkart, what happened? Anyone can, that is a public platform. Anyone can go and purchase the products. The same way, if you want database, if you want ETL, you can go to this cloud. You can purchase any kind of products. That is the public cloud. You just required one system. You just required one system and one internet, one login, so that you can easily access those information through your public cloud from your Azure portal. The same way, when you go to the companies, earlier what happened? There is a companies, there is a infrastructure, there is a on-premises companies. In companies, what we do, company having only within the companies. Let's suppose
Sir,
you,
have a small doubt. Like, if
yeah,
we purchase a storage from the cloud, will it be having any expiry date, or
there is
will
no expiry date until
okay,
you have to be a billing. Like every month we have a billing.
okay,
So how much you store for that, you have a amount you have to pay for billing. There is no
okay,
expiry date at all in the cloud. So until
okay,
you pay the amount, it continuously start. The moment you should not pay, like same like how you people do the recharge for your mobiles.
okay. The
Every
storage will be with us only enough for the paid.
sorry,
The storage, like if we pay for 1 month for a storage,
hmm.
uh, will the storage will be with us only, or will it also be gone?
No, it will be
Like,
with us only.
okay,
It will be with us only. So till how much time you are using it, you'll have with us only that one.
okay. Thank you.
All right. So when you go to the company level, let's suppose you're working for someone company, you are will be added in the domain. Okay. So you will be added under one of the domain or they'll add in the Azure Active Directory or some directory. What happened when you want to purchase or you want to access the SQL server or any server you want to access in company? What happened? They have own private clouds. If you want to access that cloud, within the company, people can access this private cloud. Even if I want to access this cloud from my local system, you cannot directly access. You need to first connect to the VPN, virtual private network. Even in your local system also, you will be adding some Cisco VPN or some other company VPNs they'll be adding here. This is something called a private network. With that private network only, you will be connecting to the private cloud. Within those company organization, people only can able to connect who are there in the domain. If outsider want to try to connect, they cannot connect this cloud. They cannot access the services. So that is nothing but a private cloud within the organization, within the employee can able to access this cloud. Other nobody we can able to access. The same way, some company what they do, let's suppose DRDO, that is our defense data. That is very important for our India. That is very precious data. What I'll do, and I know there is a data factory is a very big powerful tool for processing the data, for loading the data is very powerful tool. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to store my data, DRD data in the cloud. Yes, even though it is giving in less price, I don't want to store it because end of the day, this Azure is also from USA company. It is under the USA. So I don't want to store my any kind. Yes, definitely it will be a security. That doesn't mean it doesn't have any security. Yes, definitely. But as we don't want to make any kind of secure and any kind of such data, I want to store in the cloud. So what I can do that time my managing the data I'll store in the on premises. But I'm going to use one of the tool or data factory to process this data, to load this data from the different applications. I'll use the some services. That means some sort of services I'm going to use from cloud, public cloud. Some sort of services going to use from private cloud. The data factory I'll use from cloud because it is not having any kind of dependency, but data is very important. I'll store in my local. So those type of architecture we call here as hybrid application, hybrid cloud. Some sort of component are using from on premises, some sort of application are using from cloud. So this application we call as hybrid cloud. So tomorrow they will ask you to load the data or to pick the data from on premises and load the data in the cloud. So you have to use the concept called self-hosted integration runtimes. So some data either you do vice versa or whether you do bidirectional or same direction. So you want to load from on premises to cloud, you can do from local from cloud to local, you can do by using the concept called self-hosted integration runtime. Okay, how to do? I'm going to explain you in regular class. Very, very important topic. Now, so what happened in real time? Generally, these are the public clouds. Currently in the market, the popular public clouds are, I told in the last session, there is a AWS, Amazon Web Services, there is a GCP, Google Cloud Provider, and at last we have Azure. Azure, it started late, but you have lot of services involved compared to these two services. Definitely, there are different cloud providers also there that not that level of popular or that level of flexible cloud services are there. But currently, Azure is booming because of there are a lot of services are there. Like one of the service which I come from the background is Data Factory. So this service are involved. Okay. So this is very, very important service, Data Factory in Azure. If you know one tool also, you can go for a job. You don't require any other services. You have a lot of services, but when you go for at least one service to be a perfect in that. So there are different services also there. If you are a background from ETL development, go through thoroughly in one tool. So make it that perfect in case of whatever the interviews they ask you, you have to answer on this one. Okay. So let's see this practically how to do, how to implement. I'll show you now. So I told you What you required? You want just required to start a project. One basic system is required, one internet is required, and one login is required. So I'll go to the portal. I'll just type here as azure.com, and you can see Microsoft is giving you for free for 30 days. You can practice, you can work on for free. You don't need to go anywhere. They are giving you for free, and they are giving you amount also. See, when you go to the Amazon, what you people do there? Will do shopping there, right? We'll do shopping there. What you feel there shopping? Sorry, what is this Amazon? Huh? So generally, what people we do? We generally, a dot, okay. So generally, what we do? We do some purchasing of products. If you see in the categorization, there is a button here. There is a categorizations here. There is a different products like gadgets separately, electronics separately, clothing separately, food separately. The same way in our cloud also, in our Azure also, any cloud, they have a three type of categorizations. One is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. There are three platform where it is involved complete your services. So you are from a infrastructure background. Infrastructure, you can understand the infrastructure where it is involved like physical involvement in your company. Physical involvement means what? Like you're setting the virtual machine, you're setting the systems, you're setting the storages account, physical storages account where you need to maintain in separate temperature with cooling temperature, a physical storages, a physical tool installations. These are the all are required. Some space, some infrastructure is required to maintain one particular place. So those such involvement comes under the infrastructure as a service. The platform as a service, nothing but like a softwares where you're going to install like operating system, some SQL Server softwares or other softwares. That is nothing but platform. You're installing some softwares on a platform, on infrastructure. So these are the different services that we have. So when you start with Azure, they are giving you free of cost. That is Microsoft giving you 200 USD dollars, because when you go to the Amazon, you require amount. You cannot go directly and purchase. To purchase, to do order also, you require amount. The same way here also, to purchase some products, like I want to purchase data factory, I want to purchase storages, I want to purchase data mart, I want to purchase some Azure storages. So these are it is not a free of cost. You need to pay minimum amount. So Microsoft giving you 200 USD dollars, almost 14 to 15,000 Indian currency, they're giving you to work. This is like a marketing strategy. The people who are from non-technical background or people who are from not aware about the cloud, they can use this for 30 days. With this only we can practice. In case if it is done 30 days, later also you can create. Okay. So how to create later, I'll show you. I'll give you document recordings, everything. Okay. So for currently, once you log in, so this is something called company use as a pay as you go. I'm also going to explain you through this one because company is paying the amount, my. So I'll go with pay as you go. So the moment you log in, portal.azure.com, you will be inside the development tool. Here is a place. Here is the place where you are going to complete project you're going to develop here. This entire project you're going to develop here. Okay. So let's see first what we require. Let's go step by step. First step, first stage, we required storages, right? Let's see how to create the storages. Very simple. And what we required? We required databases. Let's go how to create this one. Two things are required: storages, this one, and data fact. Three things are required. So first I'll go with the storages, SQL database. Okay, click on SQL database. Very simple creation. If you go to the on-premises creation, if you go to the on-premises creation, you have to involve this many steps. You have to work on this many steps. Where is that? You have to install this many steps. It is completely, you need a setup file. You need a setup file. You have to do step-by-step installation process. And in case of anything is happen, that is you have to bear it because your system is not updated. You have to update the system. Then it will pass. Then what services you want to install and what is the kind of edition you are using it. I told you company use enterprise. Evaluation is like a less than that enterprise, which give you the 180 days. Okay, and which we use based on the product keys. And the one which we're practicing is like with developer editions. So these are the step-by-steps involvement. Which features we want? Database you want? Okay, select the database. Where you are installing? In C drive. Tomorrow something is happening in the C drive. Who is responsible? We are responsible. The storage is full. Who is responsible? We are responsible. So these all are the manual install, I mean manual setup with the user ID and password and all. The same thing I'll do in one simple click in cloud. Click on create and you just need to fill like a form. So, and you can select in which location you want to perform. So don't worry, this is all I'm going to explain you in tomorrow's class. Is very, very important. This resource group. Resource group is nothing but like a project. Okay. Vinay Tech resource group project. Don't worry about this. This is just like a project name. And in that project, I'm giving my database name. My database name is, let's suppose, customer database or customer DB. Okay. Simple. I'm writing customer DB. What is a server? SQL server. SQL server name is, let's suppose, Vinay Tech SQL server. Okay. And where you are installing it now? That is a question here. You are installing in which location? How to select? How do I know? How do I know where to select? In which location I need to select? You no need to worry. There will be a document. And in case if they don't have document, always as in real time, where is our application is hosted? We select the nearby to that application. The database will be created. But if they don't tell you, in case if you have a document, well and good. If you don't have, just check where is your application. If they're hosted in East US, select the East US. If they're hosted in Central, select the Central. But when you're going to the cloud, cloud is having involvement of amount, money. So definitely there will be a technical document is involved in your SharePoint. You have to use that. How to use, I'll tell you later point. Okay. For timing, let it be East US. And I want to connect with user ID and password. I'm giving the username same, my server name and the password. That's it. Click OK. Click continue. See what you want, development server or production server? Development server only. Now you need to select here how much GB of data you want. I want minimum 1 GB is more enough. If you observe here, I want just 1 GB. If I increase 2 GB, you can see this is pricing per month and you have to pay from your, not from your pocket. Microsoft giving you 15,000. And if I increase the 2 GB also, Did it change anything in the pricing? No. Okay, no problem. Let me increase the size. If I go with standard, pricing will be this one. Okay. If I increase 20 GB, 30 GB, is that any affected in the price? If I increase more, is it affecting the price? When you purchase a laptop, it will, if you purchase 1 TB or if you purchase 500 GB, that price will not change that level of hike. Where the price will change? Anyone know when we purchase any system? Where the price will be changed? Where the price you feel that it will getting high? On what changes if we increase, it will change the price.
Storage.
Storage, not storage exactly. 1 TB if you take, you'll have 500 rupees. 500 GB also you take, there will be 500 rupees. If you take 2 TB also, this will take not that level of amount, it will change. The pricing will be calculated for performance. If you increase the processor, if you increase the RAM, if you increase the input output, the price will be slightly, not slightly, completely, it will be on spike. Storage, even if you don't require, you can even 200 GB also, there is no changing in the price. See, there is no change. But when I increase my performance of that storage, when I use SSD drive, static drive, RAM, core processors, if I increase the data transactions unit, it will calculate the price now. See here, it is now, it is by default 20. I'll change to 15. I'll change to 15, or let's increase here to 20. Is it calculating now? It is increasing the size. Yes, definitely. So we are going to pay the amount for performance, not for the storages. So yes, some level storage is okay. Today you increase 1 GB, there is okay, no problem. That will not affect that much of pricing level. But when you increase the performance of that storage, that matters. Okay, today 1 GB I selected. Later I'll change it if you want. Let's click on apply. Take a backup. You no need to take a backup in real time. I mean, in the real time, generally we take DBA team. Here, not required any DBA team. If anything is happened to the server, maybe whatever the reason it is happened to that server, they have a full backup redundancy. Just in one page, review and create. This is my estimated cost per month. Okay, no issues. So what, this are ready. What we want, let's go with the storage. Quickly, I'll create at the same place. Parallelly, I'll work. Yes, definitely we can work parallelly. Here also I'll open the one more window. So let it get deployment. I'll go with a parallel other storage account. Okay. I'll quickly create. So don't worry, I'm going to show you in real classes how to do every one by one steps. I'll explain you. Okay. For this demo, I'm quickly creating this one because we have less time. Okay. This is my storage account name, or Vinay Tech storage account. Okay. In the local redundancy, review and create. This is my storage account, like how you have a Google Drive where you store your photos, images, your documents. The same way I'm creating the in Azure. What is left? Data Factory is very, very important, very powerful tool. If you know this tool, that's more enough in Azure. For ETL developers, I'm saying for BI developers. Okay, this is my ADF dev environments. Don't worry, this is all GitHub and everything. I'll explain you in regular class. Just I'm explaining you how we can easily develop this project. That is what I'm trying to explain you here. You no need to install any manual tools in your local system. Everything I'm doing in the portal. The comparison I'm showing you. Okay, it is getting deployed. Okay, let it get deployed. This is not our job to check what is happening in background. We can just monitor through notification, whether it's deployed success or fail. We can monitor through deployment notifications. Yeah, it is deployed. This is getting deployed. My storage account is ready. This is the Azure storage account. Okay. Don't worry. There are 3 to 4 type of services. We have file share, table, queues, and blob storage. So here I'm going to create one folder called container. This is my data logs. Inside data logs, I'll upload some files. Okay. Let me upload my file. You can upload anything. Okay. Let's upload some data. Some, what is that? Yeah, this is data. I'll upload. What is content you having? You want to share with someone? Yes, you can share with someone also. Easily you can share. And this is my data. Employee IDs, customer IDs, this information. This data I want to load in my Azure SQL database. This data I want to load here in my database. Why we are loading this data here in database? That is a question. In interviews, they'll ask you why you are loading the data, why you are loading the data and picking the data from files to load in the SQL Server. What is the purpose? What is you going to achieve? What is the reason? Anyone know why we are loading the data in this database? Just I'm showing a picture. We are loading the data. Why we are loading it? Any questions? Or anyone can able to answer it? Why we are loading the data in SQL Server? Just to learning about the ETL, we are loading the data here to extract this data from file and we're loading the data. But what is the purpose of this loading the data? Why we are loading it? That first we need to understand why we are loading. The question is here is why, sir, why we are loading the data? What you want to achieve here? Just for demo or just to show how ETL data factories work? What purpose? What is the purpose? That is the question here. Anyone know? Yes, no problem. It's correct or wrong. We are just learning here. You can answer it. Why we are loading it? That is my question. Here you have data. You uploaded the data. And why you are loading the data in this table? That is the question. Yes, anyone? Prakash, Sridhar?
Sir, you have to do some aggregation or any specific kind of operations. Always data should be in the data warehouse, sir.
Correct.
Very
Analysis. Analysis we want to do. We're connecting the reporting. We're doing analysis. For analysis also, if you are doing in from a file, let's suppose you people are you want to do analysis. Generally, we do loading the data for analysis. I want to analyze this file. I want to see how much customers coming, how much revenue is generating. The same thing I can do through file also. I can do in the Excel also this data. This data, if I open in Excel, let me open in Excel. This is a CSV file. It is not Excel file. So I can do analysis also in the file itself. This is the data. And this data, I want to show the location wise, there's sum of salaries and there's how much employees are there in locations. This analysis I want to do. That is the reason I'm doing loading the data in the database. Again, the question is why can't you do analysis in the Excel only? It is easy to do in the Excel. Why you are loading and wasting the time in the ETL? I can do here also. You want counts? I'll give you counts. You want addresses wise? I'll give you addresses wise. You want sum of salary? I'll give you sum of salary. Then why you are using it? That concept, wasting a time there. So if you see Canada having, sorry, this is count, right? Let me set it count. Canada having two employees, their salary is this one. If you see UK, more is UK. UK having 8 employees. Is it 8 employees? Just go and filter out here. Let's check. UK, UK having 8 employees, they are saying. Yes, UK having 8 employees. There is 8 counts. And if I do sum of salary, you'll have this much of revenue they're generating. What happened? If I do sum of this one, I'm having this much of data, 49 something. That is what it's showing here. 49 now. How much data is coming? It is not working. Almost 1414800. Okay, that is what the data it is. The same data I can do in analysis in Excel only. Why we are going for this loading into this one and wasting a time here? The purpose is not only just to analyze only one file. Every day we get these millions of records. Every day we get a millions of records. Every day we get number of files. And Excel also will support max to max 10 lakhs, not more than that. Even if you put 5 lakhs also, you start analyzing in 5 lakhs also, it completely will get gone. Your system completely will get gone. So what we can do, we will be first loading this data into our database, where database will help you to make any kind of operation for number of records or number of files. We cannot predict whatever the file. Today you'll get CSV, tomorrow you'll get Oracle, tomorrow you'll get SQL Server, tomorrow you'll get unstructured data. So with this tool, we are managing and we are processing proper data here. Then we will be analyzing the data. Either you use SQL, you can use reporting. So that is the reason what I'm doing in the data factory is I'm creating one pipeline. What pipeline? To extract the data, to load the data in this one. This is my pipeline. Pipeline purpose is to get the data and load the data. That is what the pipeline work is. That is what we call as ETL developers. Let's take copy data activity. Don't worry, I'll explain you in detail level all the options. Just to make you understand purpose, I'm showing you, okay? What is your source? What is our source? Our source is storage account. What storage account? My storage account is blob storage account. What is the source? The containers. This is my blob storage account. Okay, so that is my blob storage. So I'll just search here. See, you now you can see it why I'm asking you data factory. Any format you can extract now. This many sources you have. Even the other tool doesn't have, you have easy connectivities. Any sources you want, you can get it easily. Recently started Fabric also. So this is something like updates you'll get. That will not affect any your operations. That will not affect your any development. SAP, Oracle, Salesforce, Snowflake. There are a lot of other things are there. You can use. Which one you can use the search here? Blob storage. Already I'm having the file. What sort of file it is? See here. What sort of file it is? Structure file, semi-structure file, unstructured file. Just select what format it is. And this is my source data set. The connection, don't worry, I'll explain you what is the link service. For time being, just understand this is like connection. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, so this one we have a data logs. Data logs, you remember I have created one container here. Data logs. Inside that I uploaded one file. Inside that there's a data log file is a CSV file. Okay, and do you want to see the data is coming or not? Preview the data. Don't worry, all these options I'm going to explain you in regular class. All these options. When we use prefix, when we use wildcard, when we use list of files, I'll explain you. Currently source is ready. What is your target? Source is configured. Now target is SQL Server. Okay, in one table. So table, let's see, create new. I don't have table. Let's type SQL Server database. This is my customer table. Customer table, but I don't have table created. I'll create runtime. I don't know SQL, how to create. I'll create now. Let's see how to create. Server name, database name is customer DB. And this is my username and password. Test the connection. Password is correct or not. If it is correct, then click OK. Do you have table? Currently, I don't have any table. You want me to create? I'll create the table. DBO customer data. That's it. I don't have table, but I'm going to create a runtime. Or do you want to see how much data it is? You can open in SSMS. And here there's an option called auto create table. Auto create table. You can create the table. No, sir, I want to create my own table. I have my own structure. What is the structure? Let's suppose I want to create table. Create table, my data, my customer data, our customer details. And there is a structure. I want to create my own customer ID, customer name, customer amount, or customer revenue, or customer locations. I want to design my own table. Yes, you can design it. How much data type you want, what data type you want, you can design it. Okay. So how to design? Let's see here. Very simple, very interesting. This is my server name. Sorry. And my user ID and password. I'm connecting local also. I created in cloud. I created in the cloud, the database. I created in the cloud database. This is my database, customer DB. Sir, I don't have management studio. Tell me how to connect in cloud only. Yes, no issues. There is a query editor here. I don't have management. You want to write here you want to write queries, you can write it. Just log in with user ID and password. The whatever I have created the structure, I'll write it here query. Very simple. You want to create one table, you created it. Do you want to see if the table is created or not? Just select star from customer details. There is no result. There is no data. You want to see here in your local also, you can check here. This is connected. Your Azure SQL database is connected. I created one table. In local also, you can verify. The same query I'll take. Same query I'll take. I'll write it here. I'll paste. No records. Can we load the data now? Let's see here now. Interesting part. So sync is, do you have table? If you have a table, well and good. I don't want to create table. I am having my table. What is the table name? Customer details. I'm having my customer details. I don't need to create. So what this pipeline is doing, the pipeline is doing the loading from the blob storage to Azure SQL database table. This is my pipeline name. And do you want to see the data? Is there any data or not? Just click on any option here. No problem. Just import the schema. Schema is nothing but a very important mapping. See, in source you have a ID, but in your table you have customer ID. In source you have a EID. So we have to do proper mappings. Customer name to employee name, revenue to salary, address to location. So this you have to properly mapping. You have to do, otherwise the data will go wrongly. Done. Source is a storage account. Target is your table. Mappings done. Now I'm going to run. Very simple. So what we did, we just implemented this concept where it is extracting the data. We created a pipeline and it will load the data to the target. Very simple. Don't worry, all the options I'm going to discuss in regular class. For time being, we are running out of time. That is what I'm explaining quickly. It got failed. Why it got failed? Very simple, error message. Why it's showing? See, only you have to understand the message it will give you. What message? Do you see anywhere message? Message. The encounter, try again. What is that? Declaration. The service and encounter passing the request. Please try again. Okay. So What we can do here is salary to revenue. Let's check the data types. Location is correct. Okay, we have given 20. So no problem. Okay. There is a length issue. Length also we are not given properly. I'll create one more time. Okay. And let me execute one more time. Very simple. There is a message it will give you. In case you automated also, you can get a email alerts. So I'll show you how to get a email alerts. So there is a concept called logic apps. By using logic apps, we can send emails to the your own email addresses, or whoever is designed, we can send the emails to that person. It is succeed because earlier there was a length issue. Data is copied from here to here. Is it? Can I check? Can I go and check? Let me check. In on-premises, data is ready. In the cloud also, can I see the same data? Same data. Do you want to analyze now data? What I shown you in Excel? Same thing if you want. See here, see location. Wise, you want sum of salary, sum of revenue, customer revenue, and employees counts you want, right? Customer IDs counts. Group by this one. Very simple. This is what we expected, right? In the Excel sheet, we have designed location wise sum of salary and this one revenue. So instead of doing manual work, instead of running a query, the same query to share the report to the end user, I'm not doing manual work. I'm going to help the tool called Power BI or any reporting. I'm not targeting Power BI, any report tool. That is not our headache, any report tool. So instead of doing manual work, I can share this data to my client. I can put this data in Excel. I can share this data with my one of a client, whatever the client is there. I can make it some colorful and all. I'll share it. The same data with, if you want header with header, I'll copy with headers. I'll share this data. I'll make some colors and all, bold, some table format, and I'll share. But I don't want manual work. That is what I'm using one of the powerful tool called Power BI. Okay. So let's see here now, Power BI, how to design the report, because this is not looking that good table here. I want to see like graph way, like a chart way, how it is going high or down, or the charts, how it is showing. I can still design in the here also. There is a layouts, there is a charts, there is insert. Many things are there, bar, pie chart, how this data is there. I can still design it. See, I can do in Excel, whatever you want. The more revenue it is given over here. Red is like this one, India region, how much it is occupied, almost 29th. This one, how much it is occupied. This all you can easily design here. The same thing, instead of that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the concept called Power BI, reporting automation. Okay, again, it is not a rocket science. It is very simple, like a paintbrush. You just need to know again as a basic SQL. Okay, let me show you how to design here also. So I don't want to do this manual work every day. Every day I don't want to design like manual work. I will do, instead of manual work, I will do everyday refreshment by using this tool. So see here, very interesting. We are running out of time. So any questions, you can please list it, or I'll answer your all questions. Once the class is complete, I'll give you 5 to 10 minutes. We'll discuss. Okay. You can please list it out meantime. See here, very simple tool also. Don't worry. I'm just showing you how this project is getting created. Now see here. So this is my Power BI desktop. I want to design the report. Just close this one. I want to get the data. Where to get the data? From where to get the data? To design the report, I want to get the data from my Azure sources. From my Azure source. My data is in cloud. Data is over here in Azure. So let's go here, overview. This is my server name. What is your server name? This is my server name. Copy this clipboard and I want to use Azure server, Azure SQL server. Click on continue. Provide your database name, server name, and it will connect. Your server name, which I just copied. Click on connect. In case if I ask you the user ID and password, provide user ID and password. Because I'm regularly using this tool, so may sometime ask or may not ask you user ID and password. Okay, but if you are using in company, they'll ask you user ID and password. Okay, this is my server. I have a customer database. Yes, I have a customer database. I have a customer details table also. This is the table I want. And having some data. Yes, this is the data I want to load. You are not loading anywhere, guys. Power BI is not a ETL tool. Power BI is just designing the reports. That's it. Power BI is not a ETL. Our data factory is ETL. Where you are loading, within this tool, you are loading the data to check the reports, to design the reports. And Power BI is not a ETL tool. Okay, what sort of report, what sort of graph you want? You want to design same graph which you did in manual work, or you want to do some other things? Let me show you. You can design like multiple dashboards. You want chart report? I'll take a chart report. You just need to select the visualization. Click on visualization and how you want these visualizations, make it, and how you want to show. I want to show revenue wise their locations. Revenue wise their locations. How much percentage is covered? How much percent? USA almost this much of revenue, 41% is covered. What is this? USA, how much percentage it covered? 41%. How much value it is? This one. How much this one? How much USA values? This much, 41.46. If you want other reports, let's select the other reports. Line chart reports. I want to now select based on the customer wise their locations. More customers are from UK. Like this, you can design number of reports, number of dashboards. Okay, but this is not our work. But if they, in case they ask you, you can easily work on Power BI also. But for Power BI people, they must require a knowledge on ETL. That is what in first demo only I told you. If any reporting, not only Power, any reporting they go, minimum required is knowledge on ETL. Whether you go SSIS ETL, whether you go Data Factory ETL, whether you go Informatica ETL, or any other tools ETL like other companies ETLs. So their work is nothing. If you don't provide some data, what they do? This automation process. I'll do automation tomorrow. If I load one more time, let's suppose what happens, I'll run it my ETL again. I'm going to run. I'll start it. I'll give one more time job. I'm going to run one more time. What will happen? The data will get duplicated next day. Or let's suppose you go running next day. Now, how much data you having? Almost 2 1, almost in lakhs, 2 lakhs. It will be more 4 lakhs if I refresh. This is a refreshment. Either you can do manual refresh, either you can schedule the refresh. See data again loaded. How many records are loaded? 21 records. I'll just go to the report. Power BI report. I'll just click on refresh. So what happened? Earlier there are 2 lakhs, now it will be 4 lakhs. Simple. You don't need to do any changes. Just go and hover here. How much it will be? Around 4 lakhs, 20,000. So when you have this work, you are involved in this many places. We just develop the report from this place. You will be creating this many places, or you will be loading or working from here also. So we don't know what kind of work they give you, but we have to be ready for that. Okay, in the ETL only you will be working. All right. So this will not refresh. This is manually copied and pasted. If you want to connect, then you have to go and same thing you have to do, insert, get data and all. So that is the difference between this report and normal reports. All right. Any questions, any doubts?